So let me ask you a question. If you're going someplace you've never been before, maybe a business trip, maybe a vacation, don't you want to know a little something about the place you're going to be? Don't you want to talk to people who've been there before, or maybe even look online and find out what your hotel room's like, what the weather's like, what the good restaurants are in that area, what there is to do? I like to picture myself there, especially if it's a vacation, a trip I'm really looking forward to. I daydream about it. I think about it in advance. And that gets me through some pretty boring times here, thinking about where I'm going to be soon. And if that's true about a place that we're only going to be for a few days, shouldn't we think even more intensely and fervently about a place we're going to be for all eternity? But the truth is, most people I know, including most Christians, rarely think about heaven, even though they believe that there's a place called heaven, and most don't even seem all that curious. And we say things that sound spiritual, like, well, I just don't think we can comprehend it. It's beyond our understanding. And yet the Bible has all this information about what heaven's like that we rarely seem to reference or pay attention to. Other times I talk to believers and they seem kind of worried about heaven. They don't really want to think about it. I heard about an English clergyman who was asked, what do you think happens after we die? And he says, well, I suppose we'll enjoy eternal bliss, but I'd rather not talk about such unpleasant subjects. Where did we get this idea that heaven's going to be less interesting than this world? Why do we think that we have to have fun now because the next world, although it's better than the alternative, is not all that exciting or fun? Maybe it's because we've bought into the notion that we see in cartoons that we're going to be lounging around on clouds with white robes and halos and strumming on harps, which I'll admit sounds pretty boring, but thankfully that's not what the Bible says. Or maybe deep down inside we're afraid that heaven is a lot like church. But actually the scriptures tell us so much about the world to come, and what it tells us is so exciting. God actually commands us in Colossians 3, set your mind on things above. God actually wants us to daydream about heaven. Starting October 7th here at First Baptist Conroe, we're going to enter into a series called The Truth About Heaven. We're going to look at what the Bible actually says about the world to come. How do we get there? What are we going to do there? What are our lives going to be like? I hope you'll join us, because I think when you begin to study what the Bible says about heaven, when you actually obey that command to set your mind on things above, daydream about the world to come, it fills you with hope. And hope is an anticipation that can get you through anything. Once you know what comes after this, once you know what you have to look forward to, nothing this world does to you can get you down. So I hope you'll come October 7th all the way through Thanksgiving and learn with us the truth about heaven.